You knew this before you told them, or did you discover this?
I knew this as I said it to them. And that's been a continuing pattern. As a need is presented, and I just open to what a true response is. And all of us know the difference between a true response and an ego made-up response. A true response comes with love. It comes with love, and it brings peace. And the more the situation was difficult, the more I was called to give away the truth that we were all safe, everyone was safe, and that everyone shared the same secret, and that everyone had God in them, and they didn't know it, but we knew it. And when we looked at each other, we would remind each other of the secret, and that it would pull the God out of them. That's what we would say. If we look at everyone, it'll pull the God out of them. And that was, it was as an 8-9-year-old child, I was learning by teaching my sisters what I needed to learn about what real forgiveness is. Don't worry about what the storm looks like. Just pay attention to the soul, the love, the being underneath the storm, whatever the situation. And pay attention to that, and don't worry about the rest of it, and everything will be all right, and everything was all right.
And how are your sisters doing now?
They're great. My sisters are wonderful.
They believe like you do still?
You know, I was brought up traditionally Catholic. I have one sister that's very traditionally Catholic. She's a Eucharistic minister. I love the Catholic Church. I love every church, though. I love God in any language, any form that He wants to show up in. And I always have. My other sister loves Joel Goldsmith, Infinite Way, and that has been a great help for her. I've been a student of the Course in Miracles for half my life, almost 30 years, and that has given language to the inner, I don't know if I want to call them revelations, but inner knowing that I have had since I was a child, and it confirmed a lot of the experiences I had later on. But what it really showed me is it confirmed a practice of forgiveness. And forgiveness is kind of not a great word. People think, oh, they don't understand what it means. But it confirmed a practice of realizing, I don't know what's happening out here, but I don't look out here for my references of what to do or how to handle something. It is a good tool to teach you to go within, whether you call it Jesus or God or Buddha or Spirit, or it doesn't matter, but to go within and look to our soul, our own Christ consciousness for understanding, rather than getting understanding by appearances outside of us. So my sisters all do this, and I'll say my sisters and I have gone through very rocky roads. We were all in business together, we worked together, lived together for years, and went through relationship issues for sure. And I realize that the gift of my family is that we are a family that have forgiven each other in every which way, and which is no little thing. I really know it's no little thing. We were at a wedding. My niece got married. We have only one girl in the family, and she got married a week ago, and the wedding was spectacularly happy. It was unbelievably happy. It was it just was so playful, joyful, and peaceful. And even their vows were vows for joy, to help each other live the life they were meant to live and be who they were to be. But it was so unusually lighthearted at the same time. And I remember there were 250 people there, and I remember looking down the tables and realizing I had become the oldest member of our family, which was, a little bit astonishing. And then realizing, oh my gosh, there isn't one underlying issue with anyone in the family. There isn't one person who's mad at anybody or afraid someone's going to say something or someone's going to do something wrong. And I realized, oh my gosh, what a beautiful experience this is, that everyone in this family appreciates each other. So, no, we all practice differently. My particular practice is the Course in Miracles, which has been, the greatest help. I've always talked to Jesus since I was a little kid, and I work for Him now. And my life is just a continuing prayer for help for me to live and listen to the Holy Spirit, my soul, and then take directions of how to be, where to be, and what to be here in the world. The other thing, I forgot this. The other thing that was the most important thing growing up for us, and all of us would talk about this, was realizing that our job in life was to bring the time of peace on earth where it was on earth as it is in heaven. And that's been just burned in my mind.
That phrase sounds familiar to me,
Yeah,
yes?
doesn't it?
Yes.
And that I think, and that's what we were talking about before the show started, that we are entering an era where we are going to live as souls here in time and as brothers, loving one another, and not living by appearances, but by listening from within and blessing, and that our days are meant to be blessing one another and listening to one another as we listen within for how to understand what seems to be happening around us. And that is an era of peace. And it may not look immediately like it's happening everywhere, although when you're talking politically, what's happening in the Middle East is a good reflection of that direction occurring in time. But that as it happens in each one of us, because our minds are joined and so strong, and that as we withdraw our allegiance to the ego's identity, or identity of separateness and bodiness, as we withdraw our attention there, that the effects of that identity start fading, they kind of die of neglect, as we put our energies and attention within and live and find that every resource we know comes from within. Everything we need, companionship, health, love, finances, career, everything. If our only function is to find the sweetness of our soul, that communion place of divinity, and that is our goal. And then what happens? You know, Jesus said, "Seek ye first the kingdom of heaven, and all these things will be given you." It's no different from that. It's today, every day. Every day I wake up and say, "Dear God, what do you want to do with me? Here I am. I don't know what to do. And show me what I need to let go of, what's in the way of me hearing you more clearly." And every single thing I look at in my day, if it causes me a pause or a hesitation or an upset, it's the very opportunity, just like the storms when I was a little girl and we went into the bathroom. Those are the most important parts of my day. If I have an ache, if someone is rude to me, if I'm mad at someone, if I want to defend myself or justify something, before I do any of that, I say, "Dear God, thank you for this. I don't know what this is for, but you will show me. Correct me. Heal my mind from misunderstanding what's going on the outside." And that's forgiveness. As I do that, then I'm always led on what to do here in time. Seek ye first the soul's response. Seek ye first, what would God think of this? How does divinity see this? How is God experiencing me? I want to know those thoughts. I don't want to know the thoughts that run in my mind that figure things out and defend myself or justify things. So I let those thoughts go. I just refuse to go there and keep my mind on show me and thank you for showing me. And as I do that, when I step into wherever I am in time, the answers unfold from my own lips or from my hands or around me, and I recognize the answer. Just like in the bathroom, when there was a need, if my little sister was frightened, I knew what to say. I never thought of it ahead of time. So it's a way of living in the world and not of it, by living from within and not from without.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So, if you like, could you give us an example recently of some challenging situation
Okay.
and how this way helps you?
Okay. This is a little, not quite that answer, but close. Let's see if it'll work, if it's
Okay.
okay. So this weekend, I was at two of our friends, Judy and Connie knows, two Course in Miracles friends that I've known also for close to 30 years. And the Course in Miracles teaches the healing of our mind and the awakening. What I heard as a kid was Jesus say, you can be like me, everyone can, and you will be this lifetime if you want to be, and it will be your last lifetime. This is before I knew there were lifetimes. But I knew that. And the Course in Miracles takes that and says, yes, the mind that was in Jesus, the Christ mind, is in everyone for the wanting of it. You just have to want it. And the way that you will access it is through how you relate to one another, through relationships. So anyway, so those of us who've been doing this for many years together have had all sorts of opportunities to go through relationships where there have been difficulties, and instead of going to therapy or figuring things out or negotiating solutions, have taken responsibility and saying, this must be my mistake, I need correction, help me. And as a result, as an effect, the relationships have been healed miraculously.